Guys, today I'm going to show you something I'm not sure many of you really know much about, but most people have at least heard about cosplay. On a related note, you'll be learning how to make a basic furry hand paw. I guess I should explain a little first. A furry is, in a sense, a subculture of cosplay. Basically, a furry is a person who has an interest in and a fan of anthro animals and imaginary creatures. Some even like to dress up as characters they create, and that costume is called a fursuit. It's just like how anime fans enjoy dressing up as their favorite characters. I would love to show you how to make a fur head, but unfortunately we only have a limited amount of time today. But first we need the supplies. We need some scissors, thread, sewing kit if you have, markers, pens, construction paper, 11 by 17 would be best, and if you have it, a sewing machine, and most importantly, the fur. I recommend you buy as much fur as you can since you'll be messing up a few times. It's not as easy as it looks. After I've gathered my supplies, I start with the construction paper and a marker. I trace my hand with my middle and ring finger together to make it like a toony kind of a shape. You leave enough space so when you sew, it's not too tight, like that. Once you're done, you cut it out and you have a shape something like this. Then you pin it onto your fur. We don't have enough in the budget to get real fur, so this is just some cloth from Walmart. But basically, you pin the shape on securely as you can, and then you cut it out, and then you do it again to make two. Then you pin those together, and then the fun really starts. If you have it and are able, you can use a sewing machine to sew them together, or if not, you can use hand needles to sew it by hand. It'll take some time, but it's totally worth it in the end. I don't know where I am. I'm so sorry. All right, you'll want to leave a little bit of space along the edge just because you'll be turning it inside out when you're done. And after all the edges, except for the bottom, because that's where you'll be putting in your hand, are together, you want to flip it inside out as carefully as you can. And that's your very basic hand paw. If you'd like, you can use different colored fabric to make paw pads, and you can carefully sew those to the glove's fingertips and palm. You can also sculpt some clay, use like claws with some clay, and sew them into the fingertips for a more realistic look. Here's a pair of hand paws I got from an amateur fur maker last year. You can see how much better the fur would look, rather than the fabric I'd use today. After a while, when you become really good at sewing and crafting, you may be able to make hand paws that look as good as this pair I got over the summer. Other fursuit makers may make all sorts of costume pieces and accessories. You may also want to start working on heads. Here, I have a canine head made by the same amateur fur maker. You can see that it is nowhere near professional standards, but has a lot of character and would still be fun to run around in. Now, the professional maker's suits will cost a ton of money, but in my opinion, worth every penny. This head over here, which I got last summer from a professional, is really quite beautiful. It has big eyes and realistic teeth and even a moving jaw. There's much more to fur making than I'm able to show you, but not enough time to show you all at once. If you're feeling really ambitious, maybe you'll one day be able to make a suit like mine. Here's a clip of my full suit. I'm your host, Ashley, and this is Tilly, and we hope you enjoyed today's demonstration.